Sir, I need to see your ID. You're not supposed to be in this area.
I work here. I'm heading to my office.
Sure you do. This is a restricted government facility.
I know. I've been here 6 years.
And I'm supposed to just believe that?
Call security.
Turn around. Hands behind your back.
Officer Jake Harrison had no idea what he just walked into. In the next 48 hours, his badge would be taken away. His career would be destroyed. And NASA would pay $3.9 million because of what he just did. The man he just handcuffed wasn't a criminal. He was Dr. Robert Martinez, a senior engineer at NASA. He helped design parts of the Mars rover, the robot exploring Mars right now. Dr. Martinez had 2 PhDs from MIT. He wrote 47 research papers. He had security clearance higher than most government workers, higher than Officer Harrison would ever have in his entire career. He'd been working at NASA for 6 years. And the security cameras on every corner of that parking lot were recording everything. Before I continue, let me ask you, have you ever been judged unfairly because of how you look? Drop your answer in the comments. But Officer Harrison had no idea who he was handcuffing. Dr. Robert Xavier Martinez was 41 years old. He worked as a senior aerospace engineer at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston. His job was designing propulsion systems. That means rocket engines for deep space missions. He had 2 PhDs from MIT, one in aerospace engineering, one in applied physics. Before NASA, he worked at SpaceX for 3 years. Before that, Boeing for 4 years. He wrote 47 research papers that other scientists study. He helped design the ion propulsion system on the Mars Perseverance rover. That's the robot driving around Mars right now, looking for signs of ancient life. Dr. Martinez had top-secret clearance, the kind that requires FBI background checks every 5 years. His badge wasn't just an ID card. It was biometrically linked to his fingerprints. It required multi-factor authentication to access his lab. The government trusted him with secrets most people will never know exist. He was married. He had 2 daughters, ages 8 and 11. His co-workers loved him. He mentored young engineers. He coached a youth robotics team on weekends. On this Tuesday morning in March 2023, Dr. Martinez was just trying to get to his 9 a.m. meeting. He had a propulsion test to discuss, just another normal workday, or so he thought. Officer Jake Harrison was 23 years old. He'd been a cop for exactly 11 months. He worked for Houston Police Department's Satellite Division. That meant he patrolled the area around NASA's Johnson Space Center. Before becoming a cop, Harrison was a high school football star. He went to community college but never finished. His father was a retired Houston police sergeant. Harrison failed the police academy the first time. He passed on his second try. In his 11 months as a cop, Harrison had been flagged in 4 internal complaints. Every single one involved accusations of excessive force during traffic stops. Every single one involved people of color. None of the complaints led to any real punishment. 3 months into the job, he pulled over a black software engineer. Harrison ordered him out of the car at gunpoint. Why? The driver reached for his registration. Harrison said it looked suspicious. The complaint was dismissed. Officer discretion, they said. 6 months in, Harrison went to the wrong address for a wellness check. A Latino family lived there. He entered their home without a warrant. The family filed a complaint. The city settled quietly, no admission of wrongdoing. 9 months in, Harrison questioned a South Asian NASA contractor in a parking lot, said the man was loitering. The contractor had a valid NASA badge. A supervisor warned Harrison to back off. Harrison ignored the warning. NASA security had filed 2 complaints with Houston PD about Harrison. They said he was overzealous, too aggressive, too quick to assume people didn't belong. NASA employees had a nickname for him, Badge Boy, because he seemed more interested in showing off his authority than actually keeping people safe. On March 14, 2023, Badge Boy was about to learn that authority without judgment has serious consequences. Type accountability in the comments if you think cops need better training. It was Tuesday, March 14, 2023. The time was 8:47 a.m. The place was NASA Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. Specifically, the parking lot outside Building 29. That's where the propulsion testing labs are located. You need a special badge to get in. Not just any employee can access that building. The weather was nice, 68 degrees, clear skies, a normal morning. Engineers were arriving for work. Some carried coffee cups. Others chatted about their weekend plans or March Madness brackets. Someone was laughing about a bad bet. A NASA shuttle bus drove past, dropping off contractors at another building. Dr. Martinez arrived at 8:45 a.m. He drove a gray Honda Accord, nothing fancy, nothing flashy. He got out with his laptop bag and his coffee. He walked toward the pedestrian gate. He swiped his badge at the card reader. Green light. The gate opened. The system recognized him. Authorized. No problem. At the entrance, checkpo. In sat Jim Patterson. He worked NASA security for 30 years. He saw Dr. Martinez every single morning. They'd wave to each other. Sometimes they'd chat about their families. 3 other people were parking nearby. Dr. Sarah Chen, an astrophysicist, Marcus Williams, a young intern, Dr. Priya Kapoor, another engineer, just a normal Tuesday morning. Then Officer Harrison's patrol car circled the parking lot. He parked near the Building 29 entrance. He watched Dr. Martinez exit his car. He watched him swipe his badge. He watched the gate open and let him through. And then Harrison got out of his car. What happened next was captured by 4 security cameras. 2 witnesses would record it on their phones, and it would change everything. If stories like this matter to you, hit that subscribe button right now. Sir, hold on, I need to see your ID. Dr. Martinez turned around, surprised. My badge just opened the gate, I work here. Harrison walked closer. I didn't ask if you work here, I asked for your ID. Dr. Chen was parking nearby. She noticed the interaction. Something felt off. This is a restricted federal facility. Show me government-issued ID, Harrison said. Dr. Martinez reached for his wallet. Okay, sure, my badge is NASA-issued, but I have my driver's license. Harrison's hand moved to his holster. Don't reach for anything. Tell me what you're reaching for first. Martinez froze. My wallet in my back pocket. My license is inside. Why are you here this early? Building doesn't open until 9. I have a briefing at 9. I always arrive early. I've worked here 6 years. That doesn't answer my question. What's your clearance level? Martinez looked confused. I have clearance. My badge has my clearance level. You can check with security. Jim's right there at the checkpoint. I'm not going to ask Jim. I'm asking you. What are you doing in this parking lot? I just told you I work here. I'm an engineer. I'm going to my office. Harrison stepped closer. You're being evasive. That's suspicious behavior. I'm not being evasive. I'm answering your questions. Is there a problem? Yeah, there's a problem. You don't seem like you belong here. Martinez paused. What does that mean? It means I've been patrolling this area for months, and I've never seen you before. You haven't seen every employee. There are over 3,000 people who work at this center. Turn around, hands behind your back. Martinez stepped back. For what? I haven't done anything wrong. Harrison raised his voice. You're not cooperating with a lawful order. Turn around now. Dr. Chen pulled out her phone. She started recording. Hey Jim, security. Marcus Williams got out of his car. Dr. Martinez, what's going on? Jim Patterson ran from the checkpoint. Officer, that's Dr. Martinez. He's authorized. I see him every morning. Harrison ignored Jim. He grabbed Martinez's arm. Martinez pulled away instinctively, just a natural reaction. Harrison interpreted it as resistance. He forced Martinez face down onto the hood of his patrol car. He put handcuffs on him. Martinez's coffee spilled across the pavement. What Officer Harrison didn't know was that Dr. Martinez's badge had logged 1,247 entry swipes into Building 29, more than 6 years of data. He didn't know that the man he just handcuffed had security clearance higher than Harrison's own captain, and he had no idea that every second of this was being recorded. Jim Patterson reached Harrison, holding up his radio. "Officer, I'm telling you, this is Dr. Robert Martinez. He's a senior engineer. He has top secret clearance. You need to let him go." Harrison was dismissive. "I don't care what his badge says. I'm conducting an investigation." An investigation into what? He swiped in. The system cleared him. I watch him walk in here every single morning. "Step back, or I'll cite you for interfering." Dr. Chen was still filming. She yelled, "He has 2 PhDs from MIT. He works on Mars missions." Harrison looked at Martinez, still handcuffed against the car. "If you really work here, why didn't you just say that?" Martinez's face was pressed against the hood. His voice was strained. "I did, multiple times. You didn't listen." Jim Patterson had been doing security at NASA since 1993, almost 30 years. He'd seen a lot, but this was different. Dr. Martinez has level 4 clearance. That means he's been background checked by Homeland Security, FBI, and the Department of Defense. You don't get that clearance if you're a threat. Officer, you're making a big mistake. Dr. Sarah Chen kept her phone steady. She was recording everything. "This is racial profiling. Dr. Martinez is one of the most respected engineers at this center. He literally designs rocket propulsion systems, systems that will take humans to Mars someday, and you have him handcuffed in a parking lot because he doesn't belong. This is disgusting." Marcus Williams stood nearby shaking. He was 22 years old. He was black. He was an intern. Dr. Martinez mentored him. "Dr. M mentors me. He's the reason I'm here. He warned me about this. He said no matter how qualified you are, someone will question whether you belong. I didn't think I'd see it happen to him." Let me know in the comments, have you ever witnessed something like this? Everything was being documented. Dr. Chen's iPhone had been recording for 4 minutes and 22 seconds. 4 NASA security cameras captured different angles of the interaction. The badge swipe log showed Martinez entered at 8:45:18 a.m. Authorized, no alerts, no problems. Jim Patterson was already filling out an incident report in his head. 2 other employees were also recording from a distance. At 8:58 a.m., Jim radioed NASA police. "That's different from Houston PD. NASA has its own federal police force. They have jurisdiction on NASA property." NASA Police Sergeant Linda Morales arrived at 9:03 a.m. She recognized Dr. Martinez immediately. She worked at Johnson Space Center for 12 years. "Jake, what the hell are you doing? Uncuff him, now." Harrison tried to defend himself. He was being suspicious and uncooperative. Morales was furious. "He swiped his badge. He told you who he was. You had 0 probable cause. Uncuff him now before this gets worse." Harrison's hands were shaking slightly as he uncuffed Martinez. Dr. Martinez stood up slowly. He rubbed his wrists. He said nothing. His face showed a mix of anger, humiliation, and exhaustion. Harrison was defensive. "I was just doing my job." He matched a description. Morales cut him off. "Description of what? An engineer going to work? Give me your incident report, and your body camera footage better match what these witnesses are saying." Harrison's face went pale. He realized everyone had been recording. His body camera had been on the whole time. There was no way to deny what happened. He tried to backtrack. "Look, if there was a misunderstanding." Martinez spoke quietly. "There was no misunderstanding. You saw a black man in a NASA parking lot and assumed I didn't belong." "That's not, I didn't." Morales held up her hand. "Write your report. Submit it to your supervisor and mine by end of shift. Dr. Martinez, I'm filing this with our Civil Rights Office. I'm so sorry this happened." By 9:15 a.m., Dr. Martinez was in Building 29's medical office. They checked him for injuries and shock. By 9:30 a.m., Dr. Chen's video had been sent to Martinez's attorney, NASA's HR department, and the Houston Chronicle newspaper. By noon, the video had 40,000 views online. Officer Harrison had just become the face of something much bigger than a parking lot confrontation. NASA Police Captain Raymond Torres arrived at 10:45 a.m. This was now a formal investigation. By 11:20 a.m., Houston PD Internal Affairs Lieutenant Michelle Ortega was called in. Torres and Ortega met with Dr. Martinez. They reviewed all the footage. They interviewed every witness. The security footage told a clear story. 4 different cameras, 4 different angles. Every angle showed the same thing. Harrison initiated contact. Martinez complied. Harrison escalated despite the badge clearance. Despite NASA security telling him Martinez was authorized, there was no evidence of Martinez being evasive or suspicious. He answered questions. He tried to go to work. That's it. The badge swipe records were checked. Martinez's badge accessed the gate at 8:45:18 a.m. The system logged his entry as authorized. No flags, no alerts, no problems. His badge had accessed Building 29 exactly 1,247 times in the past 6 years. Never once had there been an incident. Every witness told the same story. Harrison approached without cause. He ignored the badge clearance. He ignored NASA's security confirmation. He escalated to handcuffs when Martinez asked a simple question, for what? Harrison filed his incident report. His story didn't match the evidence, not even close. Harrison claimed Martinez was acting suspiciously and couldn't explain why he was there. But the footage showed Martinez stated 3 times that he worked there. He said he had a 9 a.m. briefing. He said he'd worked at NASA for 6 years. All of that was true. Harrison claimed Martinez refused to show ID, but the footage showed Martinez reached for his wallet when instructed. Harrison told him to freeze. Martinez's NASA badge was visible on his belt the entire time. That badge had his photo, his clearance level, and biometric data. Harrison claimed Martinez pulled away and resisted arrest, but the footage showed Martinez stepped back 8 inches when Harrison grabbed him. No aggressive movement. The handcuffs came after Martinez asked a question, a verbal question, not physical resistance. The decisions came quickly. NASA granted Dr. Martinez administrative leave with full pay. They offered counseling services. The Civil Rights Office opened a formal inquiry. Houston PD suspended Officer Harrison without pay, effective immediately. He had to turn in his badge and his gun. The Harris County District Attorney reviewed the case for possible criminal charges. The FBI opened a preliminary inquiry. Why the FBI? Because this happened at a federal facility, because it involved possible civil rights violations, because a top-secret clearance holder was detained without cause. If you believe in accountability, hit that subscribe button. We need to keep exposing stories like this. Harrison's reactions were captured on body camera and witness accounts. First, denial. He told his supervisor it was just a routine check. He said he'd done this 100 times before. Then anger. When told he was suspended, he said, "Are you serious over this?" Then desperation. At 2:34 p.m., he called his police union rep. Someone heard him on the phone saying, "They're making this a race thing." It wasn't about race. Dr. Martinez didn't work for the rest of the week. He was too shaken, too upset. Building 29 staff started a petition. They demanded Harrison be banned from NASA property forever. The petition got 312 signatures in 48 hours. The JSC director sent a memo to all NASA centers. It reminded everyone about proper protocols for interacting with badged personnel. Within 72 hours, someone leaked the full security footage to local news. That's when the story went from a NASA internal matter to a national story about who gets to belong in America's most advanced scientific spaces. At 12:30 p.m. on day 1, Dr. Chen uploaded her video to Twitter. Her caption read, "NASA engineer with 2 MIT PhDs handcuffed at work because officer didn't think he belonged. This is what racial profiling looks like in STEM." By 1:45 p.m., the video had 12,000 views. It had been retweeted 400 times. People using the Black in STEM hashtag started sharing it. By 3:20 p.m., 85,000 views. Neil deGrasse Tyson retweeted it. He added a comment, "This engineer works on systems that will take humans to Mars," and he can't walk to his own office without being treated like a criminal. We have a problem. At 6:00 p.m., the Houston Chronicle published a full article with witness interviews. The video was now at 200,000 views across all platforms. By 9:30 p.m., CNN picked up the story for their evening news. The video hit 1.2 million views. By midnight, 3.8 million views across Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. It was trending number 2 nationally on Twitter. The numbers kept growing. On Twitter, 3.8 million views, 87,000 retweets, 294,000 likes. On TikTok, multiple reaction videos combined for 2.1 million views. On Reddit, the news thread got 42,000 upvotes and 6,800 comments. Instagram reposts from major news accounts hit 1.5 million views. YouTube news clips and commentary videos reached 900,000 views in just 24 hours. The comments section exploded. One person wrote, "I'm a black software engineer. This is my daily fear. No matter how educated, how credentialed, someone will see my skin first." That comment got 19,000 likes. Another person wrote, "He has higher security clearance than the cop who arrested him. Let that sink in." 31,000 likes. "This is why we lose black talent in STEM. They design Mars rovers and still get treated like criminals." 14,000 likes. "That cop saw a black man and made assumptions. Period. No badge, no PhD, no mission patch would have changed that." 22,000 likes. Comment below, do you think this was racial profiling? Let me know what you think. Every major news outlet covered it. Local Houston news put it on the front page. CNN, MSNBC, NPR, The Washington Post, The New York Times, even industry publications like Aviation Week and Science Magazine wrote about it. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson issued a statement on day 2. "What happened to Dr. Martinez is unacceptable. NASA does not tolerate discrimination. We are reviewing our security protocols to ensure this never happens again." The Houston Police Union tried to defend Harrison. They released a statement saying he was following protocol. The public response was brutal. People said protocol doesn't justify detaining a credentialed employee without cause. Then someone found Harrison's personal Facebook page. It had been set to public briefly. Screenshots showed a history of Blue Lives Matter posts and Punisher skull imagery. Those screenshots spread everywhere. It made his defense look even worse. 3 days later, Dr. Martinez did something Officer Harrison never expected. He filed a federal lawsuit. On March 24, 2023, Dr. Martinez filed a lawsuit in federal court, U.S. District Court, Southern District of Texas. The defendants were Officer Jake Harrison, the Houston Police Department, and the City of Houston. The lawsuit claimed civil rights violations, racial profiling, unlawful detention, false arrest, emotional distress, and violation of Fourth Amendment protections. His attorney was Benjamin Crump. That's a big deal. Crump is a high-profile civil rights attorney. He's represented families in major cases across the country. Discovery happened between April and August 2023. That's when both sides gather evidence, and the evidence was damning. Discovery revealed Harrison had 11 complaints against him in 11 months, not just the 4 that were publicly known. 11, all of them involved people of color. Houston PD had flagged him for retraining twice. The retraining never happened. The evidence was overwhelming. 4 security camera angles with full footage, 3 cell phone recordings from witnesses, badge swipe logs showing 1,247 entries over 6 years, 8 witness depositions from NASA employees, security, and other engineers. Harrison's own body camera footage. That footage proved his claims were false. Internal Houston PD emails showed supervisors ignored red flags about Harrison's conduct. An expert witness testified, a former FBI agent. He explained that Martinez's top-secret clearance requires more rigorous vetting than most law enforcement officers ever receive. Think about that. The man in handcuffs had been vetted more thoroughly than the man who handcuffed him. In November 2023, the case settled. The Houston City Council voted 8-2 to approve the settlement. The total amount was $3.9 million. That breaks down to $2.5 million in compensatory damages to Dr. Martinez. Another $1.4 million in punitive damages. The city of Houston paid it. That means taxpayers paid it. But money wasn't the only consequence. Officer Harrison was banned from all NASA property for life. Houston PD agreed to revise their training protocols for federal facility patrols. They had to implement quarterly racial bias training. An outside organization would oversee it for 3 years. Harrison was fired from Houston PD in August 2023. The Internal Affairs investigation concluded he violated 7 departmental policies. He tried to find other law enforcement work in Texas. No one would hire him. The publicity made him radioactive. Last anyone heard, he was working security at a private logistics company. Dr. Martinez took a 6-month sabbatical. He needed time to recover. He returned to NASA in January 2024. He took a new role advising on workplace safety and dignity initiatives. Harrison was also charged criminally. Official oppression, that's a Class A misdemeanor in Texas. He pleaded no contest. He got 1 year of probation, 100 hours of community service, and anger management counseling. Dr. Martinez was granted a permanent restraining order. Harrison has to stay 500 yards away from him at all times. 4 months after the incident, Harrison's attorney released a written apology. It said, "I regret my actions caused Dr. Martinez distress. I was trying to do my job." The public called it insincere. He never acknowledged the racial profiling. He never took real responsibility. Dr. Martinez held a press conference in November 2023. He stood outside the federal courthouse in Houston. His attorney was there. His wife Maria was there. Colleagues from NASA stood with him. He said this was never about money. This was about dignity. Every day, Black professionals walk into workplaces and are asked to prove we belong, even when we built the place, even when we have the credentials, even when we have the badges. I wanted accountability, and I wanted the next Black engineer at NASA to walk in without fear. The $3.9 million made headlines, but the real cost couldn't be measured in dollars. The cost to Dr. Martinez's sense of safety, the cost to his daughter's understanding of fairness, the cost to every Black scientist who saw themselves in that parking lot. The press conference was on November 18, 2023, outside the federal courthouse in Houston. Dr. Martinez stood at the podium. His attorney stood next to him. His wife Maria was there. So were colleagues from NASA. Dr. Martinez spoke. His voice was steady, but you could hear the emotion. For 6 years, I walked into Building 29 excited about my work. The morning of March 14, I was thinking about a propulsion test we were running that afternoon. Now, every time I swipe my badge, I wonder if someone is going to stop me. That fear, that's what was taken from me, not just that morning, every morning since. He paused. My daughters asked me why the police hurt Daddy. How do I explain to an 8-year-old that sometimes people see your skin before they see your PhD? He continued, I have resources, I have legal representation, I have colleagues who witnessed what happened. Most people who experience this don't. Most retail workers, janitors, drivers, they don't have security cameras backing them up. They don't have federal badges proving they belong. And they suffer in silence because they can't afford to fight back. His message was clear. To every person who's been told they don't belong, you do, your work has value, your dignity isn't up for debate, and you don't deserve to be treated badly just for existing in spaces you earn the right to be in. He looked directly at the cameras. To people who look like Officer Harrison, respect isn't optional, your assumptions have consequences, and the law is finally starting to catch up to your biases. He talked about what he wanted. I want policy changes, not just at Houston PD, but everywhere. I want officers trained to see people, not threats. I want cultural accountability, so the next Black engineer doesn't have to choose between their safety and their career. He thanked people, to Jim, Sarah, Marcus, everyone who spoke up. Thank you, you didn't have to, but you did. That's how we change this. His final words hit hard. I design systems that will take humans to other planets, but I can't feel safe walking to my own office. Until that changes, we haven't gone anywhere. Dr. Martinez's case became a symbol, but it also exposed something most people don't want to admit. This isn't rare, this is routine. Research from 2023 shows 64% of Black STEM professionals report experiencing discrimination at work. Only 13% of white STEM professionals say the same. Black scientists are 54% more likely to be questioned about their credentials in professional settings. In 2023 alone, there were 11 documented cases of Black professionals detained or confronted by police at their own workplaces. This is about who we see as threats. It's about whose credentials we question and whose authority we accept without proof. It's about the daily burden that people of color carry just to exist in professional spaces. Dr. Martinez had every possible credential, and it still wasn't enough. So let me ask you, do we believe a Black man with 2 PhDs and 6 years of service should have to prove he belongs at his own job? Do we believe an officer with 11 months on the force and 11 complaints deserved the benefit of the doubt, while the engineer he detained did? Do we believe taxpayers should pay $3.9 million because a police department refused to hold one officer accountable until a lawsuit forced them? Because if we don't reform qualified immunity, if we don't demand accountability from police, if we don't address the bias that makes people see threats before credentials, then we're just waiting for the next Jake Harrison, the next Dr. Martinez, the next $3.9 million settlement that could have been prevented with basic respect. Comment below if you believe qualified immunity needs to end. If you think stories like this matter, hit that subscribe button. We're going to keep exposing these patterns. We're going to keep demanding better. We're going to keep fighting for accountability, for dignity, for a world where your credentials matter more than your skin color. This isn't just about one rookie cop or one NASA engineer. It's about all of us. See you in the next one.